Throw down the Crescent Guard, but now in a tricky position. Will Audacious charge his way towards Czypsy, and the pull back with the Q3. In comes Dany, beginning to lightning crash and burst fire his way through the back end. It's a 1-for-1 right now, but the damage is huge. Neramin goes up into the air, has got feathers down. Dany in a difficult position, gets stunned into the wall, has to get his way out with a spark surge. Tynx gets deleted! The blades are called and they slice through the hearts.
That first Herald fight of the game, because you're going to have those early winning lanes, I think eSuba might have some chances to blow up in this game early. Orbit Anonymo, they want to not fall too far behind, hit a couple of items, and then approach some grouped up team fights.
Which has honestly been how this team has liked to play anyway. They do like to index towards the mid and the late stages, towards those team fighting options. They like those scaling mid laners. It feels like eSuba has kind of matched them in that in terms of pretty similar archetype to team comps. Theirs just perhaps has that earlier pressure that you kind of mentioned just before this. Probably means at least I think from both where we're standing, so with a slight edge out of draft, question mark?
First ultimate of the game, which of course he now has. So particularly when you're looking around that mid lane, you're looking to get that vision first for these junglers to get into those lanes, these supports to roam out of lane. This dragon will be seen being started. eSuba making their way down. Dany could hop over a wall to join this fight if they so wished.
Shotlazor comes over the wall, and looks like we are about to have a 3v3. Neramin very low on mana though, that could be a problem as in goes Czypsy and gets knocked up, knocked down for first blood to Dany. Dragon is taken somehow, some way by Neramin, but it will come at the cost of first blood as stated. Comes up with the upgrade to the Gust Walker as well. And they're feeling, again, like a game where both teams have managed to survive through to this mid-game stage. And of course, we're saying, look, for the side of Anonymo, that was step one, right? They wanted to get through the early game and get to the point where their combo with the Seraphine and the Xayah would be pretty happy, as Hirol looking to punish from early. Remember, there's no ghost going for solo kill. No action for 15 minutes, and then Hirol just comes and pulls out a solo kill like that.
There we go. So the early game powerhouse from Orbit Anonymo gets himself a solo kill for his team's first kill of the tournament. Importantly so, of course, you were already talking about how bobista just before this had himself teleport, had kind of traded lower cooldown. Tynx trying to even the score though here. Yeah, so only one person is allowed in this lane at any one time, I suppose. Tynx looking to even the score.
Throws them back with the up, but there's still the mark on, so could come in for an audacious charge. The knock-up comes through, but there's audacious charge number 2. Missed the wind, becomes lightning. That means there's no easy way to get the reset. He's thrown down the ult. He can't get the kill on Hirol. Stays alive under the tower. He's going to trade back, surely. One more turret shot doesn't come through, and Tynx gets the solo kill. But my days, did he make a meal out of it? No puns to the chef intended.
Oh, gosh. So Tynx very, very nearly falling through. That safety we've been talking about these mid laners, maybe that point's called into question if Tynx finds the right answer.
Herald number 2 comes down in mid lane. First turret did fall in bot lane, and Dragon number 3 is spawned. That means mid lane turret now falls. We've got ourselves a grouped up fight. Sole point on the line for Anonymo. This game has been oh so close. 100 gold, if that, between the two teams. We're finally bracing ourselves for all-out action. It's been a long 17 minutes. It's been a relatively quiet 17 minutes, but action begins, and bobista's deleted off the face of the rift. And they're 4v5 now before the dragon can even be started.
By eSuba, really looking now at bobista and FGG to find some creative angles into these fights to stop this being so difficult.
Another one. Hero living up to his namesake, gets another solo kill, going back to go Mega Gnar, but dies before it can come on through. But now Tynx in a dangerous position, is hit by the Sonic Wave. As they come through, there is a teleport in behind. Dany begins to burst, fire his way through the backline. Christian goes trying to throw down some ultimates and some damage, but I think they've just gone too deep. And finally, Savero gets a kill onto Tynx, and Dany gets out. Despite the teleport coming on through, Czypsy must run for the hills, has a dredge line to his name, having hit onto the wall. The cooldown will be lower, but now needs to try and think about executing. Does he get the execute off? Has it been long enough? Now heading towards the Nexus tower. Ultra Shock Laser tags him, and that means he dies to Dany. In the end, it is a 2 for 2, but what a bizarre fight. Well, 5v5 could change this game yet. Of course, if Anonymo do win the next fight, it feels very challenging indeed, as Tynx heads over the wall, forced to flash out of the Seraphine, flashes it himself, has to throw down the Crescent Guard, but now in a tricky position. Will Audacious charge his way towards Czypsy, and the pull back with the Q3. In comes Dany, beginning to lightning crash and burst fire his way through the back end. It's a 1-for-1 right now, but the damage is huge. Neramin goes up into the air, has got feathers down. Dany in a difficult position, gets stunned into the wall, has to get his way out with a spark surge. Tynx gets deleted! The blades are called and they slice through the hearts of eSuba. A triple kill for the Xayah, what an end to that fight. Every Xayah player out there just nodded in extreme satisfaction. That is what you're after with those Xayahs. And again, great position. You've got the narrow choke points all set up. But we've got ourselves
speaking of
Soul
that,
on the line.
narrow choke points. Let's see how Anonymo can control these chokes as we're coming towards Soul Dragon.
Down 4,000 HP. Tynx throws down the Crescent Guard, trying to buy time, but it's gone. Soul is in. The healing can begin to fly on through. Tynx is dead. Bobista taken low. Savero goes in, but can't quite get the kill. FGG begins to run away, but is rooted by a beat drop and is dropped in turn. A 2 for none. Soul to Anonymo as well, and this game has broken, and it's in their favor.
Look at that Soul taking so much healing coming through.
No. Trying to get onto the Xayah, but you can go all out, but she'll just cut you down to size. His kneecaps full of feathers, but you can't fly that close to the sun. And that Dark Seal now at 8 stacks. No bookers yet, sorry to say. Maybe one day we'll be able to give out the library card to the Seraphine, but not quite yet. Still. 4,000 gold in the lead, Soul to their name, Baron to their name. Anonymo looking to make sure they can put the final nails in the coffin of this game. They're not quite 6 feet deep yet, and Hirol,
Zeri dead.
That's a third solo kill. He got one against the top laner, one against the mid laner, and now one against the Zeri.
I didn't know that, we said that, Minino's a bit of a marksman. Didn't realize he wanted to make it an honorable 1v1 between like-for-like roles. Didn't even need the Mega for all of that. Actually, might have actually just timed out of it. You know what, I'm not going to call that. I saw it when I was like, hey, I'll give it to them.
That's Flashdown as well.
Flashdown as well. Dany, maybe the last hope of eSuba dying at that point at a critical juncture. The map falling apart against the Baron buff and the Soul of Orbit Anonymo.
Turrets continue to fall. This base, this empire is crumbling before their eyes, and eSuba need to find their way to stall this, or they are going to bleed out in short order. Hook in from Czypsy. The Crescent Guard after the spy phase. FGG going in, but it's rooted in place. Needs to back on out Tynx. So low, falls down. Savero claims that one with a Sonic Wave. Another hook. Czypsy just cannot miss. And they take down the Viktor to boot as the blades are pulled right back through him one more time. Inhibitor turret number 2 falls. Inhibitor number 2 falls as well. They've got 3 members to defend against the remains of this Baron push.
They're looking for the end, looking for their first win. The cook and crew serving up a meal for the Ultra League.
Not anonymous any longer. Orbit Anonymo coming here to make a name for themselves. They'll take down eSuba. They'll do so after a slow start, but a well-played objective game, a well-played team fight game, and a score on the board for the Ultra League.
Just Desserts coming in as the Nexus falls. Another set of kills to round out that KDA. Nexus falls in our first game of the day.
It was a little slow, to be fair, early on, but they played the handshake well.